Welcome to week 2, day 3 of our modified instructions and lessons. Our essential question for day 3: how can I determine what the theme is of the passages? Remember, theme, it's a life lesson, a meaning, or some kind of moral or message about life or human nature. In other words, it's what does the story teach the readers? It's some kind of a lesson. An example, theme is not one word. It is a complete sentence. So we know it's not one word. It's going to be a complete sentence. It's got to have a capital letter at the beginning, and it must have a period, exclamation, or question mark at the end to make it a complete sentence. Here are 2 examples of theme. Working together is better than working alone. Number 2, be kind, even when others are not. They are both complete sentences. They are both a lesson that we can use in our own lives to help make our lives even better. We're going to read the first passage together, and we need to decide what is the theme of the story that we're reading, and we need to make sure we go back and look for clues. What in the reading helped us come up with the idea that that theme is a perfect fit for this reading passage? Kelly had a job at the movie theater, but it didn't pay very much, and she was sick of working there. Nonetheless, the work was steady, and she needed all of the money that she could get. To her delight, Kelly got an interview at a big office downtown for a job that paid much more. The interview went very well, and the bosses all but offered her a position. They said that she would fit the role well, and they promised that they would call her back within 2 weeks. Kelly couldn't wait to quit her job at the movie theater. As soon as she got back, she put in her 2-week notice, which means she's only got 2 more weeks at her job and she's quitting. She spent the next 2 weeks bragging to her coworkers about her new high-paying job in the big city. Yet, 2 weeks passed and she received no phone call. When Kelly decided to follow up on her interview, she learned that the bosses had chosen a different candidate or a different person. Kelly was crushed. I want you to think about the theme of this story. Think about what the theme possibly could be. And then we have to think about, are there clues in the reading that can help us with this answer? So based on what we just read, the theme, this is our practice as a group. So our theme is definitely going to be about Kelly, but we cannot use Kelly in our theme. A theme cannot use character names. It must be a complete sentence, and it has to be a lesson that can teach anyone in the world. So some possible themes for this one. It could be something that my grandmother used to say a lot. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. In other words, that is saying, don't say you have something until you have it. Also, another example could be, nothing is a sure thing before it happens. And even a third one, if you're going to burn the bridge, wait until you can cross it first. These are some examples of what theme could be. Now, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Just a simple way of saying, don't say you have something until you have it. And I'm actually going to add that one as our second one. Don't say you have something until you have it. And our details from the reading that support this, she knew the interview went well. So interview went well. So she knew the bosses liked her. She liked them. They liked everything she said. She liked everything they said. But they never said, you're hired. They said, we'll call you in 2 weeks. So we'll call in 2 weeks. When she got that information, she bragged to her coworkers and she quit her job. Now, if you think about what she did with her quitting her job, that means if she quits, she has no more job at the movie theater. She's just putting everything in one place and saying, let's go to the big city and get the job. So our theme could be, don't count your chickens before they hatch, or paraphrasing those because that's something my grandmother would say, don't say you have something until you truly do have it. The next assignment I will gladly read to you, but it's going to be your job to tell me what is the theme of this reading and what details helped you come up with that answer in the reading. While most of his peers enjoyed high school, David did not. I can't wait to get to college and really start my life, he'd often tell himself. When David got to college, he found out that it wasn't much different from high school. I can't wait to graduate and get a job so that I can really get started on my life, David would tell himself. When he graduated from college and found a job, David realized that he did not really like working that much. I hate slaving away at work. I can't wait until my retirement. That's when my life is really going to begin, David told himself. He worked away his days and nights, enjoying them very little, and always thinking about how things would be better when he retired. When he finally retired, he found that he was in too much pain to do the things that he had planned on doing earlier in life. Having nothing else to look forward to in life, David spent his final days on a bench in the sun, thinking about how much happier he would be in heaven. I want you to think about the short reading passage. What would possibly be the theme of that reading? What's a lesson that anyone in the world can use? Remember that your theme cannot have a character's name in it, and it must be a complete sentence. And finally, it has to be a lesson that anyone in the world can use. And then make sure you go back in the short reading passage and tell me what were some clues and details that helped you come up with that answer. You may press pause, and when you're done, please press play to continue with your lesson. Your next part of the assignment for week 2, day 3. Look closely at the photograph that you see on your screen. I want you to type or write a detailed sentence. Please do not just give me a short sentence because it will be marked as incorrect. It needs to be a detailed sentence about what you see in the photograph. Tell me what's happening. Make sure your work begins with a capital letter. Make sure it has a period, a question mark, or an exclamation mark at the end of your complete sentence. Your second part of the sentence writing that you're working on is you're looking at this photograph, and I want you to write a detailed or type a detailed sentence about what do you see in the photograph. Remember that your sentence must begin with a capital letter, and it must have a period, a question mark, or an exclamation mark at the end. Make sure it's a detailed sentence with good information about what do you see in the photograph. In your final part of today's assignment, you're going to look at day 3 exit ticket. Think about a time that you had to really try to do something. You had to do it over and over again, but you didn't give up. I want to know, what were you trying to do? How did it make you feel when you had to do it over and over and over and keep trying and trying and trying? Did you give up, or did you finally do it? I need you to include that in your writing or in your typing in the text box below. Once you finish with today's assignment, make sure that you send it back in to your teachers to be checked. If you have questions, please contact your teachers. We can help you with any of your questions to make sure we get it done correctly and make sure you truly do understand. Thank you for working on week 2, day 3 of our modified lessons.